sound. Nevertheless, I repeat, I see no recourse but to set these facts down in the hopes, well, not so much for my own protection, but in the hopes that I can spare someone else, some innocent by-party, from the pathological violence of Peter Montopoulos. I pray that this recording will never be heard.
Stock is standing straight in front of me and stand carrying tailoring from the right. So what could I do? I just fake to the right, up in the Kelly's arm, and get my head in referee's pocket. Mr. Emerson, I'm sorry, sir.
Ah, that's all right, Peter.
I didn't see you.
Oh, wait a minute. You're standing on my Cicero. Thank you. Thank you.
Forgive me, Mr. Emerson. I just...
Oh,
I don't know what...
Oh, wait. Chapter 2 of English Manners and Mores might be useful, Peter.
English manners and mores.
Yes, English manners and mores.
Yes, sir.
You can find it in the library. I suggest you get it because I'm expecting a 3-minute recitation from you for my next class.
Mr. Emerson, please, I'm not... it wasn't intentional, sir.
Oh, bother.
Heavens. Thus, we come to the tragic hero as typified in the works of Chaucer, Longfellow, Kipling, and Tennyson. The warrior hero of their poetic epics was always someone the lower classes could admire without envy and obey without resentment. A divine being with the virtues of courage and victory and dignity and defeat. His heroism is manifested in exceptional deeds. And the code by which he lives is a code of honor, and Montopoulos, I am not quite sure that your scholastic record is such that you can afford leisure time for extracurricular reading. Perhaps I'd better take that.
You talking to me, sir?
You are the only Montopoulos present, I believe. On second thought, Montopoulos, perhaps the entire class would benefit from a personal rendition with feeling. Please rise.
Mr. Emerson, I don't even know where this came from. I was in the middle of...
Montopoulos, your eager fans await you.
It's a personal note, sir. I don't think there's any value in...
It's my fault, Mr. Emerson. I wrote the note. is just an invitation.
Why, thank you, Miss Shaw, for your synopsis, but I'm sure this class is old enough for the unexpurgated version. Go ahead.
Dear Peter, I don't think I ought to read this, Mr. Emerson.
Proceed, please.
Dear Peter, you were supposed to call last night, remember? That's no way to treat someone you've been going with for 3.5 months. Alas, perhaps I'm just another pretty face in your passing parade. Anyway, I've got tickets to a rock concert a week from Saturday. If you dig it, kindly nod, smile, or just meet me after the bell for the vital statistics. Love, Carolyn. P.S. Did you...
But don't stop now, Montopoulos. We're all ears.
But, you've heard all that's important, sir.
I did ask for the unexpurgated version.
P.S. Mr. Emerson is A doll, B dollar, C dollars.
You may sit down, Mr. Montopoulos. That will do, class. That will do. By the way, Montopoulos, how would you have voted? Dull, duller, or dullest?
Well, I've never really given it much thought, sir.
The assignment for tomorrow is Chapter 7, the entire chapter. And a test on the grammatical construction of Wordsworth will follow. Is that quite clear? You were saying, Montopoulos?
Yes, sir?
Montopoulos. Now, that's a Greek name, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 3:30 will do just fine.
3:30, sir?
Yes, after my final class, then we can discuss it without interruption.
But, sir, today I have basketball practice. We're playing Compton for the city championship tomorrow.
I know, Montopoulos, I know.
Yes, sir.
You are dismissed, Montopoulos. Please close the door on your way out.
Yes, sir.
Was it horrendous? I'm sorry.
Forget it.
Wow, what a dummy move. I mean, how stupid. I don't blame you for being sore.
Let's drop the subject. I have a chemistry class.
He's making this practice, isn't he?
How do you know?
Listening at the door. Not like him either. I mean, he usually is such a nice guy.
Yeah, so I'll survive. No big deal.
You better. At least until I get tired of you and decide to throw you at the mercy of the cheerleaders.
You were too much.
Hey, I'm still on your side.
That's exactly where I want you to be.
Oh, gotta go. Listen, call me tonight, okay? And good luck with Emerson. I hope he doesn't keep you too long.
Why should he? A guy like that probably got much better things to do than give me a hard time.
Yes, my pretty one. How does that feel? Yes, I know you can hear every word. I certainly do.
Mr. Emerson?
Oh, my friend Montopoulos. Come on in. I'll be with you in just a moment. Now then, suppose you refresh my memory. Why exactly are you here?
The, note.
Oh, yes, that inconsequential bit of scribbling. Girls are rather silly, don't you think? No, I don't suppose you do. By the way, Montopoulos, how would you have voted? Dull, duller, or dullest?
Sir, English lit is one of my top subjects.
Montopoulos, sit down.
Yes, sir. If, you just let me explain.
Frankly, Montopoulos, I couldn't care less.
Why am I here?
First of all, did you know that I'm one of your most dedicated fans? No, I'm quite serious. I admire you tremendously. Your high scholastic record, your amazing athletic skills, your student leadership. And if memory serves, I think it's 4 universities, isn't it, that have offered you a full scholarship. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's commendable.
Thank you.
You see, Montopoulos, I'm afraid I was not much of an athlete in my youth, nor, as a matter of fact, was I ever very popular. You find that hard to believe?
Yes, sir, because you're certainly well-liked here.
More of the same.
Well, my girlfriend, Carolyn Shaw, said to tell you...
Since the beginning, Montopoulos, you have been my first and only choice.
I don't understand.
Feel flattered, Montopoulos. I am asking you to work with me on a project. A project I have had in mind and been thinking deeply about for almost a year now.
So you want me to help you?
That's it, my boy. I'm giving you a golden opportunity to add yet another leaf in the golden laurel that encircles your head here.
What do you want me to do, sir?
Oh, that part's easy, Montopoulos. Very simply, I want you to murder someone.
Who?
Me, Montopoulos. I want you to murder me.
Ah. This has got to be some kind of a joke, right?
No joke, Montopoulos. I'm sorry to have to do this, but you are the only one strong enough to help me. Now, take the gun and examine it, but be careful, it is loaded. I have not yet dismissed you, Montopoulos.
I don't care, sir. What do you really want me to do, sir?
I want what I just said. I want to be killed. Not amateurishly, not brutally, but swiftly, artistically, with a certain amount of sensitivity, possibly even a modicum of understanding.
Okay, joke's over, Mr. Emerson. Please put it away.
Beautiful, isn't it? Notice the workmanship, the precision. Each working part a jewel. I know, I've examined the mechanism for hours.
Okay, why? Why do you want me to kill you?
Because I'm dying anyway, Montopoulos. Without going into the gory details, I can tell you this much. It is a blood disease. Rare and incurable. Fortunately, not painful until the very end.
But there's got to be something that they can do.
The diagnosis has been confirmed several times. The very last doctor told me that I had 6 months to live. That was in November. There was snow on the ground then. Well, there's no snow there now, is there, Montopoulos? Just the first signs of summer. A summer I will never see.
Mr. Emerson.
Which brings me to the all-important clause.
Clause?
Yes, Montopoulos, you have heard of double indemnity, haven't you? You see, if I am killed accidentally or violently, my mother will receive twice the face amount of my life insurance. In this case, $50,000.
Mr. Emerson.
Montopoulos, let me tell you something about my mother. That might help you. She is the dearest, kindest, sweetest lady who ever lived. A woman who deserves so much more than the sorrows and disappointments that life has thrown in her path.
Mr. Emerson, please
I am
listen
talking to
me.
you, Montopoulos, about my mother. Now, up to now, I have been able to do very little for her, but with your help, don't you see, I can give her everything she's ever missed, every luxury, every security, every chance for some happiness that she so richly deserves.
Mr. Emerson, you have my sympathies, but I'm not doing what you asked. So, if you'll excuse me...
A word of warning, Montopoulos. You set foot outside that door, and your future, your bright, scholastic future, will be as dead as any stiff in Potter's Field.
I beg your pardon.
An F, let us say. And not even the meanest, most remote log cabin of a college would let you within 50 miles.
You wouldn't do that.
Wouldn't I now? You just test me. You see, Montopoulos, I think I know your Achilles heel.
What are you talking about?
It means that I've done my homework, my boy. I know all about you and your mother and your unmarried sister who worked so hard to maintain that grocery store for the past 2 years, I believe, since your father died of a heart attack from overwork.
Where'd you get all that?
I told you before, I've done my homework. I know all about you, Montopoulos, your roots, your background, the sacrifices your parents and sister have made to give you this bright education.
Well, you can just lay off my family.
Why? Are you so ashamed of them? They're very proud of you, Montopoulos. You are the culmination of every dream and hope they ever had.
That's not so.
Don't you see that by refusing me, you will in effect be killing 2 people instead of just 1? Now that is nothing but simple arithmetic, Montopoulos.
Mr. Emerson...
You have so much more to lose, boy. Now, I'm giving you until Friday. I suggest, Montopoulos, that you give it some deep thought.
Friday is only 2 nights away.
Very perceptive. I knew I had chosen the right man. Oh, by the way, here is my schedule for that very special evening.
Well, I won't do it.
Now, I shall be going to the concert that night at Town Hall. I would appreciate a relatively late rendezvous.
There is no way you can make me do it.
I will be walking home. I always find Beethoven so stimulating. Around midnight, I should reach the Meadow Park area just about here. Are you listening, Montopoulos? Well, it is dark and deserted at that time. With any luck, my body won't be found for hours. I hope you'll remember that, Montopoulos.
I'm getting out of here. And I'm going to tell somebody about you.
You do, and I will deny every word. You said yourself how well-liked I am, how popular. Now, who do you suppose they're going to believe, me or you?
Even so, I'm not doing what you asked. Do you understand that? No, I'm not killing you. I'm not.
Should we bet with him? Going to do Brielle here at our little theater, they're going to have to find 4 very good young people. I think I'll recommend you 3. Are you interested in doing that? I think it might be kind of fun. All right. Excuse me, kids. Thanks a lot. Coach Silbert, it's you. For heaven's sake, what can I do for you?
Look, I don't like to interfere with another teacher's method of discipline, but have a little heart. We're playing Compton for the city championship tomorrow. But without Montopoulos at practice, I might as well close up shop.
I understand.
Oh, come now. He missed the entire workout today because you kept him in for some small item.
Well, he was in my room for possibly the outside 10 minutes, and I dismissed him.
You're sure?
Absolutely. Why, don't you suppose I know how valuable Montopoulos is to our little Riverside team? I want to see them win as much as anyone else. Could be Montopoulos has problems none of us suspect, don't you think?
Well, I guess so. Maybe he'd better get his head on straight, though. Because basketball takes concentration. A lot of it.
Oh, Coach Silbert, have you noticed anything else particularly strange about Montopoulos lately?
No.
Well, maybe it's just my imagination. Bula bula, just get in there and bring home a winner, all right?
Come in again.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, you're early.
Our department's taking inventory, so they let a few of us leave early. Anybody call me?
No. You expected someone?
I'm always expecting someone, Mama.
What?
Read. Feast your eyes. Your son has been named All-City in basketball again. Third year in a row.
This is a nice one. It even has his picture.
You knew about it.
The phone hasn't stopped a minute. All day, ring, ring, like we're the only name in the telephone book. And look, Mrs. O'Neill from next door, she bought out a whole newsstand, and other customers came in, too.
I should have known.
I opened a bottle of wine to celebrate. We practically had a party going here.
Where's Pete? Did he celebrate, too?
Ah, that boy. Maybe you can explain him. All afternoon, he keeps to himself. He didn't answer one phone call.
Well, where's he now?
In the back, thinking, he says.
I'll get him. He'll come out for the Greek Ali McGraw.
Good luck, but I don't think so.
Oh, Mama. So, how's my All-City brother?
Okay, I guess. Just get home.
Am I crazy? Or are you gonna act like nothing special happened today? Oh, I mean, Pete, how cool can you get?
Oh, come on, sis. I got work to do.
Oh, what's the matter? Did I come on too strong? Don't you know you're the only man in my life I can depend on for an uncomplicated hug? Well, that was certainly uncomplicated enough. Pete, what is it? Do you have girl trouble or something? Come on, tell big sister.
Sis.
Oh, okay. How was practice?
Fine, real smooth.
Oh, smooth. Listen, that reminds me. I've got something for you. Ta-da! For you, my favorite brother. Go on, open it.
What is it?
It's a gift certificate worth $50. Only big shots like me get 20% off. I thought you could use a new dark jacket. You know, for when you graduate and go on to those fancy college parties. Well, Pete, what's the matter?
Thanks, but why are you always buying me things? Why don't you ever think about yourself?
Pete, you got a fever or something?
No. And I mean, what's so special about going to college? What's so special about me? There's thousands of people who survive without going to college. Mom, what happened? What's the matter?
I'm not sure, but that phone call, that was your faculty advisor.
My what?
Your faculty advisor. He didn't say his name, but he was calling to warn us that unless you improved in your English work, you were going to fail. Peter, is this true? You won't graduate?
No, I'm going to graduate.
But then why did he call here? He sounded so sincere, like he was really concerned that you might fail.
Mom, forget it.
I can't, Peter. You listen to your advisor. Promise that you'll do exactly what he says.
Mom, please.
Do it, Peter. Put her mind at ease.
Please, Peter, do it for me. Please, promise me that you'll follow his advice, huh?
Damn
He's really
it!
concerned
Stop
about
pushing me!
Peter, don't talk to Mama like that.
But you don't understand.
I don't understand what.
Leave me alone!
Yes, you come up here and get some of that. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, come, fishes, come. Is that you, Mother? Mother, how could you do that after you promised?
You're supposed to be washing the dishes.
I finished with the dishes.
You have the ears of an owl, darn it. I should have never fed you all those vitamins when you were a boy. Made a prisoner of me, that's what they've done. I might as well be living in Siberia.
Mother, it is nearly 9 o'clock.
I've been waiting for this film for a month. The Werewolf from Mars.
Oh.
It's a science fiction movie, and I really would like to see it.
Sunday night is your time for the movies.
It won't be there Sunday. The program changes on Saturday. Please let me go, Alfred. I promise to come right after it's over. I'll only see it once.
Out of the question.
You never let me have any fun.
Mother, how many times do I have to tell you this is a dangerous neighborhood at night, especially for ladies? So many drunks and riffraff lounging about.
I'm nearly 67. Why would they want to bother me?
You are 69, and if they haven't bothered you yet, it's because you're one of the lucky ones. Oh, I hate this neighborhood. It's filth, it's noise, it's foreign sounds and people. I'd give anything if I could get you out of here.
Why don't you let me move away?
Soon. Very soon, perhaps you'll be able to do just that.
Do you mean it to Shady Brooks? Oh, you've let me go to Shady Brooks. Mrs. Simpson's gone there, and she says they have swans in the lake.
No, I'm not talking about Shady Brooks.
But you said...
I said nothing about Shady Brooks. That is a second-rate, shoddy, old people's home. One step above a charity ward.
Mrs. Simpson says there are trees and a park and a lake with 3 swans.
Mother, will you please stop it? I can't understand how you'd even discuss such a thing, a woman of your breeding and background and family heritage.
Mrs. Simpson is my friend. I need to be with my friends. You never take me driving anymore. You know how I love driving. You keep me all cooped up.
Mother, the subject is closed. I refuse to discuss it any further. However, I do have a surprise for you. Mother, how would you like to travel? Anywhere in the world. Europe, France, Italy, Spain. See all the monuments of history. The Colosseum in Rome. The art treasures of the Louvre.
I want to go to Shady Brooks.
Oh, Mother, you're just being obstinate. You know how that irritates me. Besides, I've already contacted this travel agent. And it seems to me that the least you could do is pay some kind...
Mrs. Simpson is like a sister to me, the best friend I have.
Who is it?
Peter Montopoulos.
It's late, Montopoulos. I'm getting ready for bed.
I know, sir. It's important. I have to talk to you now.
Well, then, just a moment. Mother, you'll have to go back to your room. There's someone here to see me.
But we haven't finished talking, Alfred. I'm alone all day. You don't know how awful
all going
it
to
is.
change sooner than you would possibly believe. Wait a minute. Here, I want you to look these over.
Who is that out
I
there?
guarantee you very soon. Well, it's just a student who needs help.
Wouldn't you like me to meet him? I
Not
never
at all.
meet
He's not the
anyone.
sort of person I want you to meet anyway.
Oh, fiddle.
Be with you in just a moment. Come in, Montopoulos. And welcome to Dead Man's Gulch. This is rather tactless of you, isn't it, Montopoulos?
I don't care. Look, I'm warning you. Leave me and my family alone. I'm not going to kill you. I can't. It's not in me.
Now, come on. What would be so difficult about applying just a small amount of pressure to that trigger with your forefinger?
I feel really sorry for you. But if you ever bother my
Please, but I forgot my glasses. Alfred, these folders are
Mother,
very
for
pretty
heaven's sake,
colors,
what are
but
you
I
doing
can't
here? I
read them.
told you to stay in your room. Here are your glasses. Please take them and go back to your room this very minute.
Thank you. Oh, can I fix your friends?
He's
some
not
coffee?
going to be here that long. Just go to your room, please.
Aren't you going to introduce
Mother,
us?
what must I do? Lock you in? You insist on testing my patience. Now,
Alfred,
off.
you're being disrespectful.
I am terribly sorry. You imbecile. You nearly wrecked everything. Now, if you've stopped sniveling, you can just get out.
You really hate me, don't you?
Hate you, Montopoulos? Why, that's impossible. How could anyone hate you? You're so young and handsome and successful and athletic. Hate you, indeed. I'm going to release you from every possible hold I have on you. You are free to go without any obligations starting right now.
What does that mean?
It means go, leave, depart, exit right away. Only. You see this? If you force me to pick someone else, I shall not only insist that he wear gloves, but I shall see to it that that weapon is left at the scene of the crime, just as it is, with your fingerprints on it.
You... What are you trying to do to me? Answer me! Answer me, or...
You'll what? You'll what, Montopoulos?
What's happening?
You see? See how easy that would have been? Just a little bit more pressure. And all you would have had to worry about was the next couple of minutes. Now you've got 2 days until Friday to think about it.
No.
And don't tell me it isn't in you to kill. I know better. That open road for boys, wide-eyed exterior didn't fool me for a minute. And now you know, too, don't you, Montopoulos?
It's not true.
Take the gun. You're a born killer. I couldn't have picked anyone better for the job if I had tried.
You're sick. And you're making me sick. I never thought I could hate anyone so much. But you deserve to die. Killing you would be like wiping out some sick, diseased animal.
Anything else?
No. You win. Get your wish. I'll meet you Friday night, and you can count on it. You're sick. And you're making me sick. I never thought I could hate anyone so much. But you deserve to die. Killing you would be like wiping out some sick, diseased animal. Night, Coach.
Good night, Peter.
Hi, stranger.
What are you doing here?
Waiting for you. Hey, lately seem to be avoiding me.
I've been busy.
Anyone I know?
No, it's nothing like that. I just got something else
Peter,
in my mind.
I asked you 2 days ago to call me if you wanted those tickets for that rock concert this weekend. Maybe I didn't mention it, but they're free.
No need to get nasty. I just forgot, that's all.
Well, can you or can't you take me?
I don't know. I can't.
Why not?
I made a previous appointment.
I guess I should have known with your busy schedule. I should have asked sooner. Maybe next time I'll try a month in advance, okay?
Carolyn, it's nothing like that. I just have something else on my mind.
Like what, for instance? I'd like to know what's so suddenly, so mind-blowing in your life that it's made you forget everything between us.
I can't tell you that.
Then it is another girl, right? Look, why can't you just be honest and admit it? It's another girl.
And why can't you leave me alone? Are you so self-centered that it hasn't entered into your mind that maybe I've got something else to think about besides rock concerts and Saturday night dates? Why don't you grow up?
Peter. Peter, wait.
You forgot this when we left in a huff the other night. Oh, really? Are you unable to read that? Oh, why, Miss Shaw. Well, what can I do for you?
Mr. Emerson, I'm sorry to bother you, and I know the library is closed, but may I ask you about something?
Well, I may not be able to help, Miss Shaw, but I can certainly try. Won't you come in?
It's about Peter Montopoulos.
What about him?
I think he's in some kind of trouble. You see, we've been going together for a while, so I think I know him pretty well, and
Yes, I suppose that you do.
lately he's been acting strangely, so different and cold. Thank you. I was hoping you might know what was bothering him.
Why come to me?
Well, it all seemed to have started with that thing that happened in your class. You know, the note that I sent where I said...
Yes, dullest English teacher in history. Yes, I remember that note, Miss Shaw.
I want you to know how sorry I was about it, sir.
Oh, nonsense. Now, where were we?
Well, anyway, ever since then, Peter's really been out of it. And I thought you might know what was bothering him.
I'm afraid, Miss Shaw, that there is absolutely nothing I can do for you. Now, if you will excuse me.
No, Mr. Emerson. Look, I saw you talking to him. You must know what's wrong, why he's acting so differently toward everyone.
Has he said anything to you?
Nothing. He hardly even talks to me anymore.
Yet you remain loyal and true. That's very commendable, Miss Shaw. Most young people your age would take any turn to avoid seeking the truth.
What truth?
Oh, how sad. How sad that's going to be for you to have to face.
What?
What about Peter and his problem? About his insecurity. About himself and his... I must say it. His masculinity. Oh, it's not just you, my child. It's all girls. Frankly, they don't interest him anymore.
They don't appeal to him?
So, naturally, he's very upset. I'm afraid that he may have been experimenting in other directions.
That's not true.
Believe me, Miss Shaw, that's why he's been coming to see me.
That's not true, Mr. Emerson. You've got to be wrong.
I tried to talk him into seeing some sort of psychiatric help, but he wouldn't listen. Not at all. Now I'm afraid he hates me because he knows that I am aware of his inner feelings and doubts.
You're wrong, Mr. Emerson. You're wrong. I know you're wrong.
Well, I would that that were true, Miss Shaw. But unfortunately, I must confess to you that he has threatened my life.
Stop it. I don't want to hear anymore. I know you're wrong. These have got to be lies. Somebody's just got to be lying to you, Mr. Emerson.
I would that they were, my child.
Peter? Is that you?
Yeah.
I'll be out in a minute. I had a hunch it was you. Mom went home early. Gee, I'm sorry I missed the game today.
Didn't miss much.
Yeah, so I heard. Sorry.
For what? It was only a game.
Pete? Pete, what is it?
Nothing.
You've been like a stranger lately. Peter?
Marge, I'd like to tell you. But I can't. It won't do any good.
Peter, tell me. Please.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm always here if you change your mind.
I know.
Look, I'll go get my things and we'll go home. Oh, and, if you're not over your bad mood by this weekend, I'm gonna have you arrested and thrown in jail for impersonating a brother.
Well, some innocent party from the pathological violence of Peter Montopoulos.
I never thought I could hate anyone so much. You deserve to die. Killing you would be like wiping out some sick, diseased animal.
Who says you can't win them all?
Hi.
Hi.
I want to apologize about yesterday. I didn't mean to blow up at you.
Forget it. That's okay.
Carolyn, I'd like us to work it out.
Sure, Peter.
Carolyn, please. I really need you. I'm in a bind like I've never been in before.
Peter, just tell me about it.
Mr. Montopoulos and Miss Shaw. An enchanting morning, don't you think? I can't see a single cloud in the sky. Can you? I do so look forward to Fridays, and I foresee a perfect weekend. Ideal in every way. Well, first things first, I mustn't be late. Well, you too, for that matter. I wouldn't want to see anybody getting bad marks this close to graduation. Well, ta-ta.
I think you're about to tell me something.
Nothing. It was nothing.
I thought you
Mother.
left for the concert.
Please, I've asked you not to come up behind me like that. You did startle me.
I thought you'd left for the concert.
Would I ever leave without kissing you? Good night.
I only came for my netting.
Come over here and sit beside me. I have something very important to ask you.
You'd better hurry, dear. You're going to be late.
It doesn't matter. Come and sit beside me.
I'm knitting a scarf for Mrs. Simpson. It's her birthday next month.
Please, Mother. No quarrels. Not tonight. Especially.
Why is tonight any
Well,
different?
tonight, I need to be very close to you.
Alfred, you mustn't blame me if you miss the first selection.
I told you it doesn't matter. Now, did you listen carefully to the plan I discussed with you at supper?
Yes, Alfred.
Do you realize that the travel agent will be calling you within 1 month?
Yes, Alfred.
And the reason I'm stressing all this so much is that in case I'm not here when he calls, If I'm away on one of those cultural forums, or for whatever reason I'm not here, I want you to understand that this is very important to me. I very much want this for you, and I want you to let that nice young man help you as much as he can.
My netting. You were sitting on it all the time.
Mother, have I made you happy?
What?
I mean, since Father died, well, ever since I was a child, I always felt your loss, your emptiness. And I have always wanted to give you something wonderful, a magnificent gift that you could treasure forever and ever.
Such nonsense.
If I have managed somehow in any small way to fill that void since my father's death, I wish you'd tell me, please.
Alfred, I've said it 1,000 times. You did the best you could. Now,
You mean
get
it?
on. Oh, go on.
You
please.
liked me. You were happy with me.
You did the best you could.
That's all I've ever needed, your approval. Now I can face anything. Mother, is there anything I can get for you before I go?
Oh, I'm snug as a bug, all settled and tucked in for the night.
Get to bed early, Mother. And sweet dreams.
Have a nice time. Enjoy yourself. Alfred, did you take the umbrella? The paper says it's going to rain. Hello. Is this the Viking paradise? What time does the feature go on? The one about Mars. Oh, good, good. I'll be right over.
No. Let someone else do your dirty work.
Pete, you here?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. You coming or going?
I was just waiting here for Mom to get back so I could drive her home.
Yeah, well, she's checking on something about the store.
At this hour?
She's seeing a lawyer.
A lawyer? What's Mom need with a lawyer?
Look, Pete, she asked me not to tell you the way you've been lately, but I think it's a good thing for you to know other people have problems, too.
What are you talking about?
The store is being inspected by the city health department tomorrow. It seems some customer complained about the filthy conditions here. He called it a pig pen. He wants it shut down.
But this store is immaculate.
Yeah, well, not according to the customer. Here's a copy of the letter he sent to the health department. Pete, he is threatening to sue us for every penny we have. Do you recognize that name, Pete? Mr. Emerson Alfredo? Does that mean anything to you?
No. Doesn't mean a thing.
Poor Mama. She's half out of her mind. Where are you going?
I just remembered something I gotta do. When Mom gets back, tell her not to worry. This customer won't ever have to worry about him anymore.
Hello, Mrs. Hoffman. This is Albert Emerson. Yes, from next door. I hope I didn't wake you. Mrs. Hoffman, I wonder if you'd do me a favor. I've been trying to reach my mother on the phone, and she doesn't answer. I wonder if you'd stick your head out the window and see if there's a light on in my house? Yes, thank you. Oh, of course, I'll be glad to wait. You better try somewhere else. This may take a while. Yes, Mrs. Hoffman, right here. There isn't. I see. Well, that seems a little strange. You did? When, earlier this evening? To a movie? Mrs. Hoffman, what time was that? Oh. Mrs. Hoffman, would you please do me one final favor and just see if you can spot her returning from the movie? Yes, it should have broken by now. Thank you. Yes, of course. I'll be glad to wait. You'll have to go somewhere else. This is an emergency. Now listen, you stop that, you little gutter snipe. You keep that up and I'll call the police. Is that clear? Go on, scat, get out of here. What's that, Mrs. Hoffman? You do? Well, will you please tell her that I am very angry and very upset? Yes, do that for me. She could have spoiled everything by behaving this way. You tell her that I am coming straight home and that she has got to learn to do as I say. She's going to be punished for this. Thank you, Mrs. Hoffman. All I've done, all I've sacrificed. Really?
You having trouble, mister?
No, no trouble.
Well, sure giving a lot of hell to somebody.
It was nothing, I assure you.
Nothing, he says. Man, he was shouting up a storm, wasn't he?
Yeah. Woke up the whole neighborhood.
Believe me, it was a family quarrel. Nothing more nor less. Nothing to get concerned about.
Oh, huh? Sounded more like an obscene phone call to me. Hey, what do you guys think about a guy that gives his old lady a lot of dirty talk, huh?
It's you and your kind of mindless idiot that has turned this world into the mess it's in. Look out. You have no brains, no sense, no feeling. You are nothing but scum.
Hey, that's not nice.
Take your hands off me, you young hooligan. You gutter snipe.
Gutter snipe? Hey, what's a gutter snipe?
I don't know, man.
Hey, mister. Hey, mister.
Don't push me.
What's a
Don't
gutter
you touch-
snipe?
I'll tell you what I got. Take that thing away, you young riffraff.
Let's go, huh?
You rebel.
Stop that! Don't you touch me! Let go! Stay there! Help! Stay there! Let go! Stay there! Help! Help!
Mr. Emerson? Mr. Emerson? Oh, God.
Freeze!
Why can't I go? I showed you where he lived.
When the lieutenant's through in there, he may want to talk to you.
But I got there after he was murdered.
But we know you didn't set him up. Look, just cool it, kid.
My Alfred was such a good son, always thinking of his mother. Why, he fussed over me like I was a delicate piece of china.
Believe me, Mrs. Emerson, you have our deepest sympathy.
You're very kind, mister.
Lieutenant. Detective Lieutenant Heller.
Yes, Alfred's gone. He was the last. My husband died in 1953, rest his soul.
Amen.
Mrs. Emerson,
Lately,
can you remember...
I thought there was something wrong with Alfred. It seemed like he had a premonition about...
About what?
But I don't rightly recall. I think it was about a trip.
A trip?
A trip, yes.
Mrs. Emerson, would you excuse me a minute, please? Joe, would you go out to the car and bring in the kid?
Sure,
Tell
Lieutenant.
Jerry it's okay. Mrs. Emerson, this boy said he knew your son, a pupil of his named Peter Montopoulos. Do you know him?
Monopoly. That's a funny name. Poor Alfred. All of his students had funny names. It used to make him so mad.
Do you know how to work this tape recorder, Mrs. Emerson?
Oh, no, no. Alfred would never let me touch it.
We found this envelope on the tape recorder. Are you sure that's your son's signature?
Absolutely. Alfred was so proud of his penmanship. He once won a contest for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's hear what he has to say, huh? Maybe he did have a premonition. Maybe he can even tell us who killed him. Mrs. Emerson, this is the boy. Now, I want you to take a very good look at him. Make sure of your answer. Have you ever seen him before?
But it's awfully hard for me to recall. Why, he's only a boy.
Well, did you ever see him in your home? Did you ever overhear a conversation he may have had with your son?
What do you think I do? Listen to keyholes?
All right, Mrs. Emerson. I have a hunch this tape will give us all the answers we need. What about it, Montopoulos? Have you anything to say before we hear the tape?
Ask me to do him a favor.
What kind of a favor?
A personal favor.
A personal favor. Did you do it?
No, I didn't get a chance to. Lieutenant, can I go?
No, you cannot go. What's the matter, Montopoulos? Aren't you curious?
Good evening. My name is Alfred Emerson.
Hello? Hello? That's me. Hello? Oh, say, can you see? Is this working? Oh, dear, I do wish I knew what buttons to push.
I pray that this recording will never be heard.
Well, his prayer was answered.
Well, that's for sure. Mrs. Emerson, would you kindly tell us what is going on? I mean, that was your voice that we heard on the tape, wasn't it?
Yes.
But you've already told me that you didn't know how to work the machine.
But Alfred would never let me get near it. That's why, when I came back from the movie, I played the tape. I was worried about him. And I knew he was always talking into that thing, just like he did last night.
Last night? Mm-hmm. Did you hear what he said?
I told you I'm not an eavesdropper. That's why I played the tape while Alfred was out, because I knew he'd scold me. But I had to find out what was bothering that boy.
All right, Mrs. Emerson, so you played the tape. Now, would you tell us what you heard?
Nothing that made any sense to me.
Mrs. Emerson, never mind about the sense. Just tell us what words you heard.
Words? I didn't hear any words. I heard a noise like wild geese cackling and whistling up. And then I started pushing all those different buttons.
I see. Mrs. Emerson, would you please do me a favor? Would you come around here and show me what you did first?
Well, certainly. I'll be glad to. Well, now, let me see. I pushed this one, and then this red one, like this.
The record button.
And that would wipe the whole thing off. Now we'll never know what that guy said.
That's right. What about it, Montopoulos? Do you have anything to add?
Now, mister, don't be harsh on that boy. He was one of Alfred's students. And I know why he's here.
Oh? Why?
wanted to get his name in the paper. Alfred says teenagers will do anything to get their names in the paper.
That's all. Well, stick to the sports pages, kid. Front page is murder. Come on, Joe.
I remember the night he was here.
What about it?
We were talking about a trip. It was a trip that Alfred wanted me to take. Oh, I know where he wanted me to go.
Where was that, Mrs. Emerson?
To Shady Brooks.
That's terrific.
I'm sure Alfred would have been so happy and so proud. You're a good boy. I'm sure he was very fond of you. This won't take but a minute. Do you drive, Mr. Monopoly?
Yes, ma'am. If you ever need a...
Oh, Mrs. Simpson. I've got the most wonderful news. Yes, I'm coming to Shady Brooks. Is there a room near you where there's a view of the lake? Oh, that would be grand. 4 swans? I thought you said there were only 3. Well, really?
Is there anything I can do?
I keep thinking about him and why he did the things he did. Why he died the way he did.
I don't think you find the answers here, Pete.
No, I guess not.
Nothing like the music of the spheres now, is there, Deidre?
Nothing, your lordship. My God.
Yes?
What was that?
I'm afraid, Deidre, that's what you'd call a cosmic clinker.
It almost broke my eardrums, it did. Whew, such a spartification of sour notes I haven't heard since you threw out that band of upstarts that wanted to take over the establishment.
The same sour sound of rejection.
Well, who was it this time, then?
Them. Down there.
You mean them creatures you gave a chance to make something of themselves? Oh, terrible ingrates is what they are.
Oh, that'll be Norman reporting in. Go ahead, Norman.
My lord, I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, sir, but they did it.
Yes, I know.
Of course. Well, sir, heaven knows I did try, sir. I did try to help them just as you instructed. Until that so-called light bearer had his complete nasty way with them. Thinks he's so bloody smart. Well, if you ask me, he's sick. Poisoned with envy.
What's that happened to your hand, Norman?
What else? Snake bite.
Better let me have a look, Norman.
Yes, my lord. I'm terribly sorry to have let you down like this, my lord.
Don't blame yourself, Norman. After all, it was their choice. And remember, you are the first ever in this line of work.
And the last, I presume. After this...
Well, how do you like them apples?
Disgusting.
Insight. Stories of modern man's search for meaning. Freedom. Love. Insight.